In this video, I want to give you an overview of FreedomSoft's direct mail system because it's different from what you're likely used to. What's common is that when you send direct mail, it goes through a mail house and you have a list and you have a mail piece and it gets printed, it gets merged, and then they send it over to the post office and it goes. What's different about this is that we've taken a new approach to direct mail and we've built automation into it. So I don't want you to think of, here's my list, here's my mail piece, merge them together, and it's a one-time send. FreedomSoft's system works different. So here we go. I'm going to start with the foundation of the system, which are direct mail templates. To find those, I'm going to go to my name up here, click on Settings. I'm going to click Templates over here on the left-hand side. And then there are three options here in the middle. We're going to go to Direct Mail Templates. First thing I want you to know is that professional direct mail templates have already been added to your account. We have driving for dollars templates. We have sort of a more general turn your house into cash templates, pre-foreclosure, street view. This is referring to a Google Street View, tired landlord, vacant, probate. You can see all these different template options that are pre-built. I'll click into a couple of these. Here's a driving for dollars. This has a Google Street View on it. So based on your FreedomSoft account and which tools you have access to, you may have postcards like this with the Google Street View on there. I can go down, I'll just click through a couple. Here is a tired landlord. Front of the postcard, back of the postcard. Professional templates already built. And there's two near the bottom, letter with a check image number 1 and letter with check image number 2. Now if you're on our MailNow Premium or Enterprise plan with the direct mail system, you will see both of these. If you are on MailNow Basic with our direct mail system, you will see letter with check image number 2. Let me show you these. I'm going to click into the top one here. And the reason obviously we call it a check image is because when the recipient opens it up, there's an image of this check, which is a very eye-catching thing to see when it comes through. So look what happens on this check now. Up here it's got your company name, address, company, city, state, zip, the current date. Right over here, the offer price. Then it comes over here and obviously pay to the order of the seller, whatever their name is, whether it's an individual or a company. Then we have this really cool merge field on here that takes whatever number you put in over here and it writes it out just like it gets written out on a check. In the memo goes the property address, and then over here in a handwritten font, your first name and last name, so it looks just like a signature. And then right below it, it says, hey seller, let's turn this into a real check. But again, this is a really eye-catching piece of direct mail that you can send out. Now let me go back and I'll show you the other template. Same idea, has the check in the middle of the page. Again, it fills it out. Come down here, puts in your signature again. So both of them work, both of them are very eye-catching when the recipient opens it up. And what I'm going to do here is generate a preview so that you can see what this looks like when it all comes together. Okay, so the preview here just finished up and you can see right up here, Mike Snyder, all my information. Obviously that's made up because I'm in a demo account here, but this will be your information up here. Here's the owner and who it's going to be mailed to. Right over here, I used the copy of the template that has the Google Street image on it, so there's the front of the house. I want to buy your property at 9380 Pearson Street, and then check out how this looks. So here we go, $120,000, and here's that merge field I told you about, 120,000 and 0 out of 100. My signature down here for 9380 Pearson Street, and it puts it together just like that. Obviously merges on my 720 phone number because I set up the mail sequence. Very, very simple, and again, very eye-catching. Now, you could also do this in bulk, a couple different ways. What's key is you have to get the offer price in here. So you could go through, if you wanted to in your list, type in an offer price to say 5, 10, 20 of these, whatever you wanted, and then select all of them and go send it out. You could also, if you have our Market Analyzer tool, you could swap out this merge field for the dynamic offer. So our Market Analyzer tool comes with the dynamic bid generator, the automated offer generator. And this is if you have our Market Analyzer feature. You'll know if you have it if you come up here to tools and you see Market Analyzer right there. I highly recommend this tool because not only will it analyze the market, but it'll create offers for you. And what I would do is I would just swap out this merge field over here with the dynamic offer merge field. And the way I would do that is because this is a FreedomSoft default template, I can't edit this one, but what I can do is create a duplicate of it by clicking that little icon right there. That'll create an exact copy of it, And when it's done, it'll put it up here at the top of the screen, and there it is, letter with check image 1, and this is the copy of it. And I click into it, and now I can edit this merge field over here. So I wouldn't use the offer price. I would come over here on the left-hand side and insert a seller variable, and I would put the dynamic offer in there, right there. And I would just swap in and put in the dynamic offer field. Just like that. Don't worry that this goes off the end of the page. Whether you have Market Analyzer or not, it comes right out of the gate ready to go with the offer price field. If you have our Market Analyzer with dynamic offer and you have a list with multiple dynamic offers in it, you can automatically merge those offer prices onto this piece of eye-catching direct mail. I'm going to show you how to add your QR code from the Deal Negotiator onto a piece of direct mail. So the very first thing I'm going to do is go to the settings page, click on the Deal Negotiator. I've got to download the QR code to my computer. Here's my Deal Negotiator link. I'm going to come right over here, go to publish, so that middle icon. And if we come right down here, we have our unique QR code for this Deal Negotiator link, and I can click download. Now I've got that saved. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to come up here, click on templates, and we're going to come over here to direct mail templates. I'm just going to grab this top turn your house into cash yellow black postcard. I'm going to create a duplicate, click into it, and now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to come over here instead of copy, and I'm going to call this one the QR code. Now I'm going to come down here. I'm not going to put the QR code on page 1. I'm just going to come down here and put it on page 2. I'm going to click in here, and it looks like we have a text box. I'm going to change what this text box says because I'm going to add a QR code below this. So you can see on the back side of this postcard, it says caller text, and this is going to put in my direct mail phone number and turn your unwanted house into cash. So you can obviously say whatever you want there, but that's what I'm going to say. Now I'm going to select this. I'm going to come over here and make it bold, and I'm going to tighten up that text box just a little bit. So I'm going to come over here on the left side, add new element. I want an image element. Select the image from my computer. So I'm going to click the little plus icon, and I'm going to go to my downloads. There is my QR code, and I'm going to click open. And now it's going to pull that image in, and I'm going to click use this image, and it pops that QR code onto the page. If you put the mouse over the vertical 3 dots, you can move it wherever you want. And if you grab one of the corners, you can resize it. And I'm just going to put it right in there like that. Come up here and save my changes. Just like that, you can add your Deal Negotiator QR code to any piece of direct mail in your FreedomSoft account. Come back here, you might be thinking, can I add my own template? You can. You click that blue plus sign right there, and you can build your own. We have a template editor. It starts with templates. The templates are already built. What we then do is we take these templates and we turn them into sequences. Some sequences have one step in them, as you'll see here in a second. Other sequences have multiple. So what I'm going to do is click over on Mail Sequences on the left side of the screen. And again, you're going to see that these sequences have already been built. Here, for instance, is a We Buy Houses sequence that has 1 step. Here's a We Buy Houses sequence that has 5 steps. Based on your FreedomSoft plan, you'll see the sequences that you have access to. The reason we call it a sequence is because there's automation here built in. I'm going to click first into this We Buy Houses 1-step sequence. I'll come over here and click Edit. Now this is a single step, so it sends a single postcard, in this case this yellow postcard right here. But watch what you can do. Up here there's this repeat option, and I can turn it on. And if I turn it on, this sequence will repeat after 30 days. What does that mean? Let's say I have a record in my FreedomSoft account for John Doe, and I just turned on the repeat for this sequence, and I go move John Doe into this sequence. Well, it's going to send out this yellow postcard immediately, and then 30 days later, it's going to send out this postcard again because it's on a loop, or the repeat feature is turned on, right? There's automation built into it. And you have control of this. You can have the repeat feature on, or you can have the repeat feature off. But the way it works is you apply 1 record or 100 records or multiple thousands of records into whichever sequence you want, and then the automation in that sequence takes over. Let me go back and let me show you that We Buy Houses 5-step sequence. I'm going to come over here and click Edit. So watch how this was set up. This yellow postcard sends immediately. On day 30, this white postcard gets sent out. On day 60, there's another yellow postcard, but it's different than the first one. It's got a Google Street View on it. That one goes. On day 90, this blue card goes. On day 120, this yellow postcard goes. And then this sequence has the repeat feature turned on. So again, if I took a record for John Doe, and I moved him into this sequence, he would get the first postcard right away. 30 days later, he'd get the second one, 60 days later, and so on. And if I hadn't heard back from John Doe yet, and I left him on the sequence, this fifth postcard would go on day 120, and then 30 days after that, the sequence would start over. So we have automation and automated direct mail follow-up and marketing built right in. Again, it's not your typical mail house where you grab a list and grab your mailer and then send it. We have automation now built into direct mail via sequences where you can move your prospects in and out of sequences, and when they're in the sequence, the automation takes over. Back to sequences, you can see that there are multiple. There are multiple one-step sequences, and then there are multiple multi-step sequences. Now, let's talk about how do you get records into a sequence. There are a number of different ways to do it. I'm going to come up here to the Leads tab and click on My Pipeline, and let's just come down here and click on this Wake County Tired Landlord list. I'm going to come up here and click View All. The first way to do it is when I'm on this View All screen and I start to move my mouse over these different records, over on the left-hand side, you can see that I have the View Snapshot icon. So now I can click into that, and anytime you have an open snapshot, there's a big orange button up here at the top of the page that says Send Direct Mail. If I click on it, a pop-up will show up, and I pick whichever sequence I want. Again, we just went over the sequences, and I click Send, and that sequence kicks into play. That's the first way to do it. Let me close out of that. The second way is I could click into any of these records, and I could open up the lead details page. Big orange button, the big orange More Actions button, I could click on that and click Send Direct Mail. The pop-up window shows up where I can pick the sequence I want and then click Send. I could also go over here on the left-hand side of the screen to where it says Mail Sequences, and I could click Send Direct Mail, and I could start direct mail from there. I'll show you in a minute that all current and past sequences for each record will show up on this page. If you haven't sent direct mail to it yet, it'll look like this. Now, let me go back to the main list. Maybe you want to send direct mail to multiple prospects at a time. Can you do that? Of course. I could come right up here and select, say, the 20 on this page, big orange button, Send Direct Mail. I could start the sequence, whatever sequence I want for these 20. I could come up here in the blue banner and click Select All 170. Now I have 170 records selected. Send Direct Mail. And again, you're just going to pick the sequence you want and click Send. Anytime you pull a list, there are likely property owners on that list that own multiple properties. If you intend to send direct mail to that list, what the Find Uniques feature will do is pull out the duplicates so that you just send one postcard to each owner. So watch how this works. And the Find Uniques feature is right here in the big orange More Actions button. So I'm going to come over here, select the 20 on the page, and then right here in the blue banner, select all, so we can see that now I have all 685 records selected. Big orange button, and I'm going to click Find Uniques. Now we have to tell it, what do we want to search for the uniques by? Well, in this case, all of the property addresses are unique. We're trying to match up and help the system identify duplicate records, and so we could use mailing address. Say, for instance, we have an owner who owns 3 different properties. Their tax mailing address that's recorded in public records will be the same because they live at the same address. So mailing address can work. That's typically the one I run and why we put it on top. And then I'm going to click Find Uniques. There we go. So just like that, this search was run against 685 records, 612 unique records found. So I have the ability now here to rerun the search or view uniques. I'm going to click View Uniques. And what it'll do is over here on the left-hand side, it automatically builds a group for me. Uniques mailing addresses with today's date, and there's 612 of them. So now what I have the ability to do is I can just click into this group. Here are those 612 records. I've pulled out the duplicate properties. I can come right up here, select the page, select all 612, big orange button, and I can go down to Send Direct Mail. And now I'm only sending one piece of direct mail to each of the owners on the list. This is different than Find Duplicates. What we like to use Find Duplicates for, if you're importing data into FreedomSoft, every time after you do an import, you should run Find Duplicates, because if there were duplicates in the account, the import that you just did likely created them. Or if you've just been working in FreedomSoft for a little bit, you want to do a check, hey, I wonder if I have any duplicates in the account, you can use that to kind of clean it up and merge those duplicates together. So here's really the power in this. It changes how direct mail typically works, where it's one list and one mail piece. We have sequences built, we have automation built. The advantage of it, there are a couple things. Number one is that there's automation built in. Instead of you having to physically send your direct mail every 30 days or whatever the rhythm is, you can now just set up the sequence. The other component is if you want to go send a postcard or a letter to one person, you can go send a postcard or letter to one person. Most mail houses have a minimum order. A lot of times that minimum order is 250 pieces or even 500. That doesn't exist in FreedomSoft. If you find one property, like this one for Barbara Strawberry, I want to send direct mail to Barbara. I can go send one-off direct mail. You can do small orders and we don't penalize you. With a typical mail house, if you want to send a smaller order of say 250 or 500, you're going to pay a higher price than if you want to send 5,000. Based on your FreedomSoft account and which plan you're on, it's fixed pricing. So we're not going to penalize you for sending a small order of direct mail. A couple other things. Let me go up here and I'm going to click into a test record that we have set up. Over here on the left-hand side, mail sequences. Here you can see we sent some direct mail out to this. And if I open that We Buy Houses, you can see there's the mailer that was sent, and it was sent on March 24th. So it'll track it. If I want to send this mail again to this record, or if I want to reactivate this sequence for this particular record, I just click restart. So inside of each individual record, this mail sequences page on the left is going to show you exactly what's going on with each individual record. Then you can come up here to the marketing tab and click direct mail, and you can see globally what is going on with direct mail in your account with all your sequences. You can open these up and it'll show you for every step how many are pending currently in your account on each step and how many have been sent. And then if you want to see that specific list, you can click into these. And back to the concept, the foundation here are the templates. The templates then are what make up the sequences, and then you move your records, whether it's a seller record, a buyer record, a contact, you can move those records into the sequence, and that's when the automation of the sequence.
Hey everybody, Rob Swanson here. I want to show you how to use FreedomSoft and send one-off cover letters and offers to sellers if they verbally reject your offer over the phone with just a couple of clicks. And I'm going to show you how to use click-to-mail's email-to-mail system right with FreedomSoft. So simple, you're absolutely going to love it. So what you can do is you can go out to Click-to-Mail, and Click-to-Mail is the U.S. Postal Service's mailing system. And they give you this thing right here called email-to-mail. And it walks you through the process of setting up with the U.S. Postal Service using what they call email-to-mail. And that allows you to send an email, and the U.S. Post Office will automatically turn it into a letter or whatever kind of attachment you send. They give you an email address called quickletter@em2mail.com. Once you're set up with email to mail, you can send an email to this email address, and the post office will turn your email into a mail piece. First thing is go set up with Click-to-Mail and get set up on the email-to-mail system. The second thing is we're going to do a few things inside FreedomSoft. The first is we're going to go to Contacts, and we're going to add a contact inside FreedomSoft called Click-to-Mail, email-to-mail. I just did first name Click-to-Mail, last name email-to-mail, and I made this quickletter@em2mail.com the email address for this contact. What this is going to allow me to do is send right from inside FreedomSoft directly to that email address as a contact and turn my email right into a direct mail piece. Okay, that's the first thing. Then what you're going to do is you're going to go up here to settings, and we're going to work on two different templates. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to work on a document template, and we're going to create an email to mail offer cover letter. If you are signed up with FreedomSoft and you want us to make this template available in your account, just let us know. But I'm going to click on this and I'm going to show you. This is a template now. This is the current date, the property primary contact name, so this is like your seller's name, the property mailing address, the primary contact person's first name, and then the rest of the letter. After our recent conversation, I'm sending you this written offer to purchase your property located at property address in Property City. I'd very much like to purchase the property and hope to hear from you very soon. You can sign and return this to me by mail at the mailing address below, or feel free to call me at this number and I'd be happy to discuss this offer with you. This phone number is a phone number that goes right into one of the campaigns inside FreedomSoft. So anybody that calls this, you're going to capture that lead. Once I get it back, I'll talk with my closing company to get everything scheduled right away. And remember, I'm not a real estate agent, so you don't have to pay any commissions. Sincerely, inserted my signature and my full name. I went ahead and I set up this email to mail offer cover letter. Now I'm going to go back, and that was a document cover letter. The other document we're going to use is just a standard purchase contract. So you can do whatever kind of purchase contract you normally use in your business. The second template that you should set up is this email to mail offer template. And I'm going to go ahead and click in on this as well and show you. Here's what it is. It's a blank email with the subject line right here that has the property primary contact name, so the person's name, and then a colon, and then the mailing address, mailing city, mailing state, and mailing zip code. And this subject line right here is just put in the format that the email to mail system requires. When you go through the setup of the email to mail system, you'll understand how this works. Now let's go back. So we've got two templates set up, a cover letter and an email. So now let's go back to this demo lead that I'm showing you right here, and let's go into this lead. Let's pretend that you just made your offer. So you've got the information on the seller, you've got their name, their phone number, address of the property they're calling about, you've got owner of record, and this is how my dashboard is set up. You guys can see this. You've got their mailing address, you've got offer date, you've got their asking price, all of this stuff, and then down here you've got a cash offer and a terms offer, and you've got your price offer information. And so you've just worked this lead and filled out your dashboard. And using FreedomSoft's workflow automator, as soon as you made the verbal offer and it was rejected, a status was triggered automatically using the workflow that said, hey, send this seller an offer in the mail. So here's how you do it. All of this leading up to this point right now, you're actually, once you have the template set up, now you just start working leads. And anytime you want to send a seller a written cash offer, it's a couple of clicks away. So here's how we do it. We're on the lead right now, and we're going to go and we're going to generate a couple documents. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to generate a standard cash offer. I'm going to click next step. I'm going to look down this and I'm going to say, is everything filled out the way I want it to be filled out? And there's a couple that aren't mapped. So the county needs to get filled out. The acceptance date needs to get filled out. So I'm going to do that on the next step right here. When I preview my document, I can make any changes that I want to make on the document right here. So I can just go ahead and put in my county, and I can go down here and I can put 30 days receipt. And you can see that my signature got put on here, the dates are on here, everything is good to go. So I'm going to click complete, and this is going to automatically generate my cash offer. I'm going to do one more thing though, because I want to go back to my lead details right here. And I also want to generate that cover letter right here. So I'm going to click next step. I'm going to look and see everything looks like it got filled in properly. That looks good. I'm going to click next step. I'm going to preview the document, make sure that everything looks good. I'll just move my signature around, make it look how I want it, and I'm going to click complete. Now I have two documents attached right to this lead record. I have my email to mail cover letter, and I have my standard cash offer. And what's super about this now is I can select both of these right here and send an email, or I can do it right from within my communications area. I can send an email. So watch this. I'll just go to communications. I'll click emails. I'll do a new email. Now this is how simple this is to get this stuff sent out. I'm going to send this from my email address, an approved email address with the email to mail system. They recognize my email address, and they're going to turn my email into a mail. And so I'm going to send this to the click to mail email contact. My subject line, I'm going to go ahead and pick a template email. There it is, email to mail offer template. I'm going to select that. It automatically put my subject line right in there. Now all I have to do is select my two attachments. There's my cover letter and there's my standard offer. And they're both now attached. And so when I click send mail, it tracks that that email was sent on this date at this time, and it went to the email to mail system. What I just did is with a couple of clicks, sent a written, signed cash offer with a cover letter to a seller using FreedomSoft. That's how simple this is. Now, what you're going to get in about a minute or two is you're going to get a notification right from the click to mail system in your email, and they're going to say, hey, this has been sent. And this letter, cover letter plus the one-page offer contract, costs about 80 cents, give or take, using the click to mail system. It's a great system. So you guys will love this. Look, the reality is you can connecting 3 or 4 different software systems together, or you can use FreedomSoft, set up your templates one time, and then any seller lead that comes in, all you have to do is generate these 2 documents right here and then send an email right from within the system to that email to mail contact, and you're good to go. Within seconds, you can make written offers to sellers at any time. And then what I tell people to do is using our workflow automation, it's very simple. Now we just made the seller an offer. So now we're going to go back here and we're going to just look at our status. And do we need to do anything to change our status? Because our status is then going to trigger any follow-up workflow or any additional automation that we need to put in place. I'm going to save my lead and you're good to go. Great system. You guys will absolutely love it. This is Rob Swanson with FreedomSoft. We'll see you later. Bye.